You guys are terrible shots, by the way.
We have a laptop and a mic on a very shaky table. All right, well, hey everybody, welcome to Trending. Today is October 14th, and we're outside today.
Find ourselves on a playground.
Yeah, why not play on the playground a little bit? It's really nice, kind of one of the first really nice fall days. It's like 58 degrees.
We'll
it's perfect for sweater.
6 of them this fall.
It'll be like 50 and then 20, and then nothing and then 100.
Yeah.
Good old Kansas weather, but
that's right.
Thanks for joining us today out on the playground. Hope you're having a great Thursday so far. So we're going to take today's top trending topics like we do every week. Try to tackle them from a Christian perspective if there's anything to kind of throw in there. So, all right, here we go. Let's go to the top 5. I'm going to skip a couple.
Let's do it.
We'll do the kind of lighthearted ones first. So, first of all, do you know the name Gary Paulsen? Does that name sound familiar to you?
Yeah. I think so.
He's an author.
Okay.
So he's most famous for writing the book The Hatchet.
Okay, yeah.
So did you read that like when you were in elementary school?
Didn't everybody have to?
It was
our
like
era
one of those classics. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
I didn't. It was written in '86, which I thought it was kind of more like contemporary to when we were in school. But '86, great book. So unfortunately, he passed away, I think, yesterday.
Oh, man.
But he obviously The Hatchet's a classic. He wrote a couple others that like the title sounded familiar. He's written like hundreds of books. A pretty prolific author, and that one obviously had a lot of success that again most of us read. So R.I.P. Gary Paulsen, great author. I think he was upper 80s. So anyway.
Right.
So thank you for your contribution to the literary world, Gary.
That's right. Yes, absolutely.
Another fun one from yesterday. You probably heard about William Shatner is trending this morning. Do you know about that whole story?
Didn't he get to go on a space rocket?
Yes. So there's all these space stories. You keep coming back to space. So he went on one of Bezos's SpaceX flights yesterday. I think they were actually only in space for I want to say an hour. It was a very short trip. Okay. But we got Captain Kirk into space. He was actually there.
It seems like it all makes sense now.
It all makes sense.
that was waiting to happen.
Yes, the live long and prosper thing has finally happened. I think he's like 90 years old, so I think he's one of the oldest guys in space.
Wow.
So can you imagine being 90 and just being rocketed into space for a few minutes?
I can't imagine that. I wonder if he remembers it today.
I bet he's a pretty sharp guy.
What you have given me is the most profound experience I can imagine. I'm so filled with emotion about what just happened. It's extraordinary.
I only kid. Sorry, William.
Live long and prosper, William Shatner.
Live long and prosper.
You were never a Star Trek guy, were you?
No, I think it was just on too late. I'm just lame. I never watched it. So were you Star Trek?
No. Then the kind of new movies are really good, but I never got into the old school William Shatner type stuff.
Absolutely.
Pretty cool that Captain Kirk went in space.
Yeah.
Space, the final frontier.
That's very cool.
Okay, I'm going to give you a choice for the next one.
Would
you rather talk about basketball or soccer?
Let's talk about basketball.
Okay. The Lakers are trending this morning.
Okay.
So I think we briefly, that's why they're trending, is that they've got this trio that the headline is the trio will either be unstoppable or combustible. Those are really the only options. When you've got LeBron, Anthony Davis, and Westbrook.
Yes.
And
Carmelo, man.
And Carmelo. And Dwight Howard. They've got all these guys that have been around forever.
They have.
So it's kind of, in a way, it's kind of fun to have this ragtag team of old guys, old all-stars, kind of to see what they can do together.
Yes.
But do you think they're going to pull it off? What do you think?
I think they'll be good. The West is obviously very competitive. And, there's this enduring myth that, old man strong.
Right.
Even though, your dad ages and you get older and stronger, you just know that I think dad can still take me.
Yeah.
So I think they're banking on that more than anything else.
Well, yeah, Dwight and Carmelo, those guys, they've got their roles. Dwight's going to get a ton of rebounds and slam some dunks in. Carmelo's going to get some nice shots. So
yeah,
it'll be fun to see how they do.
I would love to see it.
They'll either be really good or they'll probably do really well for 20 games and then get tired and then not do really well towards the end of the season.
So trending 5 weeks from now, we'll have an update on the Lakers.
Yes. But I think it's good for the league when the Lakers, when the Celtics, when those kind of hallmark teams are buzzworthy.
Yeah.
It's good for the league, I think.
Whether they win or not, it's no big deal. If they're buzzworthy, I think it helps the NBA's product for sure.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
All right, we'll see about the Lakers.
Okay.
Okay, next up. Are you on Snapchat? Do you do Snapchat at all?
I've tried and I've failed, so no, I'm not on Snapchat.
I'm not a snapper either. I feel like we're like just at the cusp where it was like, am I too old to be doing this? Is it weird? I never felt like it was for me.
I feel like you have to like offload one social media like to bring a new one on, so I didn't want to let go of the other ones.
Yeah.
So it just never happened for me.
Yes, me neither.
Yes. I was always confused. Like, this is a terrible confession because it shows how lame I am. But I had no idea what to do when I got into the app. So
yeah,
there you go.
A lot of weird swiping happening, and yeah. But okay, so Snapchat is trending because much like the apps that we do use last week, Facebook and Instagram were down. Snapchat was down yesterday, apparently.
Okay, wow.
So they're trending because they were down for a couple hours. The app didn't work, so people were missing their streaks or whatever you do on Snapchat.
Oh yeah.
So
were they selling stuff though? Because people with Instagram and Facebook were disappointed because they use WhatsApp to do their business, like kind of that mobile business stuff. So were people losing business opportunities because?
I'm sure people. I know people advertise and stuff. So I don't know.
Okay.
But okay, I thought we could talk about this briefly. Just the idea that okay, there's this app that a lot of people use. It's down for a couple hours,
right?
And the world just freaks out.
That's
it
right.
happened with Facebook and Instagram. Now it's happening with Snapchat. So, what are your thoughts on just how tied we are to our devices and these apps?
I think it just reveals how these things are not just things that we use, but they are actually one of our identities. So I think psychologists today would say that we have multiple selves. Like we've got like a work self, a family self. Now we have like social media selves, and when that self is malnourished because we can't attend to it, we do sense like a psychological letdown.
Yeah.
I just think we need to tune into that. Like, these aren't just like things in my life, but these are actually like little beings of ourselves. Like ontologically, we are a part of Snapchat, and they're a part of us in some way. Like if we are committed to something like that. Mm-hmm. So just like anything else, like a person who misses a few days of workouts and they're like a big like gym rat, like they start to feel like, I don't know, like they don't know who they are anymore because they don't have the gym or whatever. So like I feel like we just need to tune into how important like the primacy of these things in our life, because I don't know, it could lead to some unfortunate, I don't know, depression or languishing in our life because of it.
Yeah.
So, anyways, yes. What's going on here?
Are we supposed to look at you? What's happening?
What's going on here? Oh my gosh.
We're about to be bombarded.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
no!
Nerf guns!
You guys are terrible shots, by the way.
We have a laptop and a mic on a very shaky table.
No need to guard oneself. They haven't hit me yet.
Candy got me. Candy, Chloe, and Jen just shot us with Nerf guns.
I feel like they were like 0 for 200.
I got hit once.
Okay, 1 for 200.
Okay, before we were so rudely interrupted.
Yes.
Social media.
Yes. So
And I also think it's funny. Like I saw several people when Facebook and Instagram were down. They're like, "Oh, it's kind of nice. Like, don't bring Facebook back. It's kind of nice that it's down." And then it's back on, and we're back on. So it's just we're just addicted to it.
It is going to be an interesting component that will continue. We'll see how it develops because it really has become a quite essential thing of our life. I think that the stuff with Facebook last week, where the whistleblower through Facebook began to reveal just like how pervasive an issue it is. She compared it to the big tobacco moment for American culture. How like they felt like the government needed to step in for big tobacco to bring some regulation. So now it's the same type of thing where the government needs to like step in somehow and regulate what this does, because it is affecting people quite dramatically, more than I think we ever have imagined. It's a Pandora's box type thing. Like we're gonna do this thing, it's gonna be great, and then like we open the box, we're like, well, there's some parts of it that are not so great.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, I'm sure that will be something we'll talk about again someday.
Yeah, so. Evergreen topic there.
Evergreen. Social media, the pros and the cons.
That's right.
But people are watching on Facebook, so we can't slam them too hard.
That's right. We love Facebook.
Okay, last one today. This is kind of a touchy one. Joe Rogan is trending this morning.
Why is he trending now?
Good old Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
So real quick, Joe Rogan, if people don't know, he's a comedian. He's a boxing MMA,
UFC commentator, and he's got like a huge following with podcasts, YouTube.
Huge podcasts. Mm-hmm. Yep. So yeah, he's a very popular personality. He's trending this morning. He was extremely anti-vaccine for COVID. Extremely. Okay. He ended up getting COVID, and after that, some people were not very nice to him, kind of giving him a hard time.
Okay.
Didn't get the vaccine, then he got sick, and then he also famously took, or I'm going to say it wrong.
Ivermectin.
Ivermectin, yes. And so that's kind of controversial, but he was very proud that he did that. So he's just kind of been front and center of this whole COVID thing. People love to love or love to hate him. He's just a very polarizing figure.
Okay.
So yes, I think it was yesterday, he had a conversation with Sanjay Gupta,
Okay.
the doctor from CNN, and they had a kind of heated exchange about whether it was right for him to take that drug, how the media maybe wasn't really fair to him when he took the drug. So it's kind of just blowing up. There's a clip of them that I guess is kind of going viral, of them just being angry at each other. So we don't need to get into the nitty-gritty of that, but
Yeah.
we're just in this time where people are still so heated. What are your thoughts on how to handle these kind of situations? Like when these things happen, obviously yelling at each other is not effective.
Right.
But when you hear all that, what goes through your mind?
Something that I think about is like why would Joe Rogan be so? Well, I mean, you could have a perspective on anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just find that like the further you get committed to something, when it is challenged, like the further that you feel like you have to defend it. So, for instance, people who act irrationally about their sports teams. I mean, at the end of the day, these are just individuals playing a game with a start and an end, and if they're healthy, they'll get to play next week or the next scheduled game. But for whatever reason, because we've spent money on tickets, because we've invested time researching and following this team, whenever they lose, we feel like we lose.
Mm-hmm.
And if somebody then cheers for the fact that we've lost or they lost, like we feel like we have to go like neutralize this person. And so I think more than anything else, I think here is Joe Rogan. Like he was, I don't know, maybe he felt like COVID wasn't that big of a deal. Then he got it. So like here's like now I've got to like answer that
Double down
with,
a little bit.
Yeah, and instead of like toning it down or maybe like having. It's a bit more of a sober view. Like he doubled down on like, no, now I needed to go face all the opponents and back them down in order to have like some sort of solace within me, right? So I think we have to dial into what are the sources of our anger. Anger is not a sin in and of itself.
Right.
It's in our anger we shouldn't sin. So okay, anger reveals stuff. So what am I angry about and why? And is this something that requires all of me? Do I need to get into a back and forth with somebody on Facebook and attend to it all day long and invest all this time for the bet? Probably not, right? And so I just think it goes more into like how do we react whenever we feel so strong about something and is challenged. I think that's what's revealing about this interaction he's had with Sanjay Gupta, Dr.
Sanjay Gupta.
Gupta. So.
One thing I've been thinking about, I know, so I listen to, every once in a while, listen to the sermon from Life Church. Hello to our friends from Life Church. Craig Rochelle, I'm sure you're watching. Hello, Pastor Craig.
That's right.
So,
he's probably at the gym.
He's probably at the gym
never misses
watching
a
us
workout.
right now. Yes. But one thing so they're currently doing a series called Offended.
Okay.
So I don't know if you're listening to that at all, but I think it was this past week the name of this sermon was, You're Not As Right As You Think You Are. Which that is true of all of us. Because all of us think we're right about everything.
That's right.
And I think what is increasingly appealing as Christians for the non-Christians watching us in our world today, I think non-Christians are attracted to humility, I think.
Yeah.
And so
because it's a rare commodity, it's
extremely rare.
a beautiful value.
And so I think I want to be the kind of person who says, I've got strong beliefs, but I could be wrong about this.
Right.
Whether it's, I've got strong, especially like specific religious things, I've got pretty strong convictions on.
Right.
Things about my family, there's some things I care very deeply and I'm not going to shift very much.
Right.
But most things I want to hold pretty lightly.
Yeah.
And if I get proven wrong, or if I discover something new, or if I have a conversation that changes my mind, I want to be really open to that.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of person is just rare.
It is
and
rare.
I think we will stick out as Christ followers if we do that more and more instead of digging our heels and just insisting that we're right about everything.
Yeah, I admire what St. Augustine did. He actually wrote a book called Retractions at the end of his life, and I'm actually kind of I have a document where I'm working on like retractions because you do like you feel like you study something, feel like you get into it, and then you keep an open mind, and that whatever you felt before could be challenged. And so I think it's important, particularly those of us who are creating stuff, putting it out in the world.
Yeah.
Like we need to probably reveal that, hey, we're still in motion as well. We're not standing in the same river twice. Things happen, and so we can hold some things pretty open-handedly.
Yeah.
A few things pretty tightly. many things with an open hand, and I think that just has a more restful and healthy way to live life.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah. So
All right. Well, there we have it.
there we go. Are we gonna get attacked again?
I don't know. I don't see any dart
I'm
guns
offended by that.
blazing. We're trying to create this content out here.
Gosh. In the middle of a playground, and people want to come out and play. It's ridiculous.
All right. Well, hey, thanks for joining us again today. Grateful for all you guys who are watching. Hope you have a great Thursday, Friday weekend. Hope to see you on Sunday if you're a Rich Point person.
Yeah.
Anything else today?
We've got a special episode next week.
Yes. Stay tuned. Let's not spoil it.
No spoil.
We got a special episode next week, so be sure to watch again next week.
All right. Sounds
All
good.
right. See you guys.
See you.